Guys, welcome back to Rhomanys Realm. I'm Rhomany and today I thought I'd do a little coffee chat because I got to paint my nails because I've got some filming to do. I've done one coat but I've got to do a second and then a top coat. It's very boring, so yeah, I thought instead of just sitting watching YouTube I would record a YouTube. Revolutionary, I know. Today is January 21st, 2021. Sorry, I'm distracted by something that's going on out the window. Happy Aquarius season. It's going to be a big one because, you know, we've got all that grand conjunction stuff going on in Aquarius this year. And if you don't quite get the hang of it the first time round, don't worry, because we've got Mercury retrograde at the end of the month as well. So, if 2021 has been a bit of a struggle so far, don't worry, it'll get better. You'll get a do-over. So far, I'm doing all right. I seem to have hit the ground running this year, because one of the things I've done is get rid of extraneous stuff. So I, obviously, mostly in terms of work, because that's most of what I do. What is going on with that? What's going on here? Tarantula leg. Yeah, mostly in terms of work. I have a lot of things that tend to be repetitive, or that take a long time to plan, but not very long to execute. So I've decided to try and swap that about. So the planning doesn't take nearly as long, and then I have more time to execute. Hence, you'll notice there's a few pre-recorded videos this year so far. I'm aiming to do a couple a week. Certainly a Monday check-in. And probably a Wednesday one, because you're used to me doing something on Wednesdays. This doesn't mean I'm not live streaming. I will probably live stream at some point. I just need a bit of a break from it because I'm not really a social person. I've been live streaming pretty much solidly for 2 years, anywhere between 3 and 4 times a week. Because obviously I stream here, I stream Twitch when I can, or when I've got a painting on the go. But I also have been doing all of my Patreon classes live as well. Which, it works out well for me, I enjoy it, and I like having a timetable to stick to. However, I feel like for the last 6 months, with the COVID thing, being home all the time, because I'm self-isolating, I haven't really left the house since March, apart from a very occasional coffee run and taking the dogs to the park. I think the only places I've been are medical appointments, actually. So I've had more time, but what that means is that I get bogged down in the planning, and I don't spend as much time. Obviously, if it's 2-hour live class, you do 2 hours, duh. But then you have another maybe half an hour to an hour of tidying up, uploading things, rejigging things, cutting out dead space and things like that. And I just feel that while I'm in this position where I'm stuck at home, I might as well be using more of the planning time to actually do the thing, with the intent that the quality will be somewhat improved. There'll still be uncut stuff. I mean, you know, this coffee chat, unless I have to stop to answer the door to a parcel or something. I'm not expecting anything to arrive today, so probably not, but you never know. Unless I have to stop for some reason. Shouldn't need to cut this. I can just put it up as a recorded live video, you know what I mean. There, that's coat number 2, going for... Oh, I'm so messy. What I do is I just throw the stuff on, and then when it's dry, I clean it off around the edges because I don't have very steady hands. I use the same thing as I do when I'm painting, basically, but that's my colour. It looks black, but it's actually not. It's called Linkin Park at Midnight. No, sorry, Linkin Park After Dark. Linkin Park at Midnight is the sparkly one. Well, it's shimmery. It's not sparkly. I don't do sparkly. This is pretty much the only colour I ever wear, actually. I do have a black one, and I do have this dark grey one, but this dark grey one has dried out a bit. It's called Susan the Arctic Fox, which I really like. But mostly I wear this one. What was I talking about? I don't know. This is why they're called coffee chats, because they're just rambles. They're just rambles. Not cutting the video. There we go. So I'm trying to be more conscious of editing tutorials so that chat stuff like this, it doesn't really matter. No, I don't think anybody really cares. If you want to sit and listen to me chat, then it probably doesn't matter how I do it. Whereas the people who would expect it to be beautifully polished and beautifully lit and, you know, full face of makeup and everything else and edited to the nth degree probably don't hang out on my channel anyway, so I don't think I'm really bothered. I'd rather just sit and talk as if I'm talking to you one-to-one, and then I can spend the extra time on editing tutorial videos, which will mean A, better quality because woohoo, new camera, and B, better editing because ooh, actually editing, and also means that they'll be a bit shorter because there won't be any sitting around waiting for things to dry and everything else. So I'm doing that over on Patreon as well. We're still doing live chats. We're still doing like every other week. No, every week we do at least one session live out of 3. And then one is usually some kind of a post or PDF or a short chat like this. And then the other one is usually a proper video. I say usually, we've only been doing it since the beginning of the year, but it feels like we're already embedded into this is the new normal. So yeah, we are in lockdown until whenever, basically, I think is the general thing. Definitely till March, possibly till Easter, perhaps even till the summer. We just don't know. I don't think anybody knows. In all honesty, I think we should have gone into lockdown in March and just stayed there, you know? If you don't have to absolutely go out for any reason, then please don't. Just stay the hell at home. Oops. Alarm going off. That is my alarm reminding me to record this video, so I'm ahead of schedule today. What else is new? I've revamped the tiers over on Patreon while we're on the subject of Patreon. I've revamped the tiers, but I haven't actually, excuse me, got around to updating them on the website. This is not Katie's fault, because it's Katie's job to update Patreon, but it's not her fault that it's not up to date. because she can only update it with the information that I give her, and I haven't given her the information yet. So I'm sorry, that's a little confusing, but essentially everybody's getting either what's already listed, or what's listed and a little bit more, or what's listed and in a very slightly different format. Obviously on Patreon at the moment, it does say all sessions are live. That needs to be updated because not all 7 sessions are live now. 1 session a week is live. So if you're a little bit confused about what's going on and you want to double check, the best thing to do is just either message me on Instagram, because that's where I hang out. Don't try and get a hold of me anywhere else. I don't read DMs anywhere else. I don't read Twitter DMs. I don't read anything. I read email and I read Instagram, and that's it. Or you can contact Katie, and Katie will tell you what's going on and where. But essentially the tiers haven't changed. I've got the basic tier, the $1, which is YouTube previews for pre-recorded videos. And usually chats like this will go up earlier, though it might only be like an hour earlier sometimes, but it's all ad-free over there. So if you pay the £1 or $1 or whatever it is for Patreon, you don't have to pay any ads on YouTube. So it's significantly cheaper than the £15.99 on YouTube. I have been considering doing join memberships on YouTube, but it gets a little bit confusing with what options you get. I will try and implement it by June. That's the current estimate. Because I've got so many things going on at the moment, I just can't take on any more. So by saying I will tackle it by June, that means that I'm kind of thinking about starting it round about March. Get it all set up, get it up and running, work out what I'm doing, and then get into the swing of it. Hopefully that will work. So there will be an option to have memberships. I'm also hoping to get back on Twitch. I want to get back to painting over there because I enjoy my afternoon of just hanging out casually painting, not teaching, not particularly, I hesitate to say entertaining, but that's what I feel like I do on YouTube. It's more entertainment and hanging out with me and doing stuff and showing you things and updating you on things, whereas Twitch is just like, hi, I'm painting, come hang with me. You know, it's very informal, and I really like that atmosphere, so I'm hoping to get back to that in February. The only reason I haven't done it yet is because I've had so much to set up over on Patreon, and also, I think I'll probably stream on a Friday, and this year my birthday's on a Friday. In fact, it's next Friday. I think my Twitch started on my birthday, so I think my birthday and my Twitch birthday are the same. So I may do a birthday stream over there to kick it off. I'm going to see if I can fit that in. If nothing else, I've got a painting over here that I'm still, let me grab, excuse the mess, I'm sorting into a new set of drawers here. This is not actually a big pile, this is my fireplace here. This is my basket of sewing, and then this is just a box of stuff that I need to sort. I've got this one that I started way back last year that is, as you can see, nowhere near complete. And I've also, of course, got my chameleons in my Big Stupid Sketchbook. Big Stupid Sketchbook, trademark by Bun. Go check her out. Yeah, I've got my chameleons. Oh, actually, I've got my Big Stupid Sketchbook right here. I'm trying not to damage my nails because, of course, the whole point of doing a coffee chat was so that I would sit and do my nails and then I wouldn't have to actually do anything. But, of course, as usual, I go and start picking things up. So there's my chameleons. So these two are done. Well, they're not completely finished, but they're sort of 90% done. This one is only about 40% done. So I've got quite a lot to do on him. I'm loving this new camera. It's a Sony Cybershot WX500 or 530, I can't remember. It's the one that's got Wi-Fi enabled, which is actually really useful because instead of faffing around swapping memory cards and stuff, I can do a short video like this and just set it to whip over to my computer. And, you know, it takes a little bit longer, but it doesn't matter, especially if I'm going to be doing something else. If I want it done fast, I do it with the memory card. But if it's just a short video like this, I can just whip it across and edit it later and not have to worry about it. It's fab. So yeah, I'm a bit all over the place. You can tell I haven't done a coffee chat for a while. In fact, I don't think we've done a face-to-face chat for a while, have we? Or have we? Maybe we have. I don't know. I get confused because I've done face-to-face chats with Patreon. I've already done 2 with them, I think. Yeah, the third one is on Saturday, so I've already done 2 with them this year. But I don't know, time just all merges together after a while, doesn't it? Do you like my new chair? I got a new chair for Christmas, courtesy of Papa Gnome. I'll try and show you. There we go. It's an English version of a Lucky Racer, basically. But it's got, you know, like some of them have arms that are just like that. They're just a T. They're just like a spike coming up and then a T at the top. Mine is actually a whole thing like this, and when it goes back, it does that. So when my chair goes back, the whole arm changes. It's not just a big spike. Because those aren't very solid, and I need to push on the arms to get up because of my knee. And also, it's got a little vibrating cushion in the lumbar support, which is awesome because that's something I really struggle with. I don't have back problems. I have problems with I think it's the flexion in the hip. Is that what it's called? Constricted hip flexion, I think she called it. Basically, it's a tendon that runs from your back, your lower back, down through your hip into your pelvis and down into your groin, into the inside of your quad muscles on your thighs. And mine, for some reason on the left, it just seizes up. Doesn't matter how long I sit down for. It could be 2 minutes. I can sit down for 2 minutes and I still can't stand up straight immediately. And I have to kind of wiggle it into position and stretch it out and stuff. It's quite entertaining, but it hurts. The wiggling about is quite entertaining. The pain is not entertaining. But this lumbar support I found is really helping to stretch out my back, which makes it a bit easier to stand up. But also the massage support, I found if I use the massage support for a minute or so before I try and stand up, it kind of gets the circulation going and it makes it a little bit easier to get my hip moving, which is great. I just have to remember to use it. So yeah, new toy. Speaking of new toys, we have what we refer to as Charlie. Because if you say her actual name, she responds and she sets off everybody else's. So we don't say her name, we call her Charlie. Based on the Charlie's Angels thing, where they always talk to him on the phone. You know, good morning, Charlie. Same thing. She is fantastic. I'm inherently lazy anyway, and I love, what on earth is going on? I love the idea of being able to automate things, especially when it's something like, you know, you're halfway through something, you're working on something, you've got paint going, or you've got ink on your hands or whatever. You suddenly think, oh, I could really do with listening to a podcast right now. Do you want to pick up your phone and start messing around and break your concentration and this, that and the other? Not really. But if you can say, hey, you, play this podcast for me, and off it goes, then what's not to love? It sets alarms. I use it a lot for alarms. I use it for, this is something, I mentioned this to someone with ADHD, actually. I don't have ADHD, I just don't pay attention. There's a difference. When I pay attention, I'm perfectly fine, but I don't pay attention most of the time. But what I do is when I get to, sometimes I'll remember something, and then before I even get a chance to write it down, something else will come into my head. And it's really handy being able to go, hey, in about 2 hours' time, remind me about such and such. You know, or what I've started doing is setting an alarm every day for 11 a.m. So that I know that at that point I have to sit down, and it's kind of like a bullet journal review. I sit down and I say, okay, tell me what's on my shopping list, what's on my reminders list, what's on my calendar, and I can transfer it into my little Hobonichi doodad. And then I've got a written record of all the stuff that I told her to remind me about yesterday that I've now completely forgotten about, which therefore means they will never get done. But now they go in my book the next day, so they do get done. It's really efficient, actually. I've always been a proponent of using like digital lists. I use Google Keep a lot. I'm hoping I can set it up so that I can tell her to put something on Google Keep. Because if I can do that, I can organise work stuff as well, and I can organise stuff that I do for Katie instead of having to keep stopping and interrupting her and typing and stuff. And you know, it's just so much more convenient. She's settled in so nicely into my daily routine. It's been such an easy transition, and I use her so much. I actually picked up one for the bedroom as well. So I set all my alarms, you know, that time when you've gone to bed and you're nodding off and you suddenly think, oh, I didn't put such and such on the list. You know, you don't have to wake yourself up and grab your phone and, you know, blue light and all that. You're not supposed to do that after you've gone to bed, and you don't have to fumble for a pen and write it down on a post-it that you're going to inevitably lose. You just say, hey, on my list for tomorrow, add, don't forget to buy dog food. And then 11 o'clock tomorrow, when I sit down with my journal and ask her to tell me what's new, what's going on, what do I need to remember, she'll remind me. It's fantastic. I'm really enjoying it. So there you go. Like only 8 years behind modern technology, but I'm an iPhone girl. I've always been using Siri. Oh no, he's not going to talk to me. He doesn't talk to me when I want him to talk to me. When I don't want him to talk to me. I say it like, hey, 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 hey. You know, it takes a while for him to even wake up, and then has no idea what I'm saying. What's that about? Whereas this one, I've talked to her when I'm like half asleep, and I'm just nodding off, and I think, oh, I didn't change the alarm for tomorrow. Change alarm for 10 a.m. Okay, that's done. Would you like me to change it for every day next week? No. All right then. Oh, she's great. I like this little device. I've also purchased, to go with it, I got one of these. This is going to be fun to set up. I haven't done it yet because I'm going to turn my desk around that way, and I haven't sorted that out yet. But this is a Charlie enabled, it's also Google Assistant enabled, smart Wi-Fi surge protector. So it's Wi-Fi connected, and you can get her to turn on the plugs. Now, it may seem like, hang on a minute, you're just sitting here telling me that instead of going flick, flick, you're going to sit there and go, hey, Doodoo, can you switch on this, that, and the other? Well, the thing is, you can program this to different settings. So I can program this to, I'm going to watch TV, which means it will have my computer on, obviously. Well, not my computer, not my main computer. My laptop is what I use to watch TV. My main computer is usually rendering stuff or uploading things. But I can set certain groups of things to come on all at the same time. So I can say, hey, turn on the studio lights, and anything I need, like my microphone, my overhead light, my spotlight, my camera, all of it can automatically all switch on, power on. So all I have to do is boot my computer. And if I do it with including this lamp, which is a double, it's one of those adult child lamps. So it's got a big lamp and a little lamp. I've got smart bulbs in there now. So I can tell it to switch it to evening mode, and it just switches all this lot off and switches that on. It doesn't power off the computer. I learned that lesson. We don't do that. The Mac is not automatic. The laptop is, because the laptop doesn't need to be turned on. You can turn it off at the plug and it will, as long as it's got battery, it'll still go, obviously. Whereas my Mac, it's always in the middle of doing something when I accidentally switch it off. So it's really useful for all of that. So instead of having to figure out what buttons are which, I can just tell it to switch on this configuration and it will do it. It'll take a little while to set it up, but it should be quite time-saving once I've got it done. Also, it means that I can put the actual plug down off the desk, because at the moment it's on the desk underneath my computer riser, and I have to kind of wiggle my hand in, because, you know, chubby arms. I'm going to wiggle my hand in and feel around to find the right button to press. 9 times out of 10 I get it wrong. I won't have to do that with this. I can just stick it down under the desk, cable tie it to the side of the desk, and just let it do what it does. I don't have to worry about it. She will do it all for me. I'm looking forward to this. Looking forward to this a lot. So that, yeah, a bit of automation in the old studio as we get it sorted out. I have done quite a bit of sorting, as you can see. I've sorted some stuff. The Christmas tree's still up. Well, it's not even the Christmas tree, it's the Halloween tree. I did take the Halloween baubles off and swap them for Christmas baubles over Christmas, obviously. And then after Christmas, I took the Christmas baubles off, but I kind of like the tree, so I just left it there. I can't actually get to the cupboard because my easel is in front of the cupboard where I normally put the Christmas tree. So I thought, I'll leave it up. Who cares? Used to be tradition to leave it up until February. Used to leave it up till Candlemas, till the Victorians changed it. So I say, I'm going to have a tree for my birthday. Why not? Who cares? Okay, I think this is dry now, so I can do my top coat. What else do I have to update you on? Tricky. Oh, I did a little poll. I don't remember when I did this little poll, but I did a little poll of what sort of videos do you like to see? And 3 things were overwhelmingly requested. These here coffee chats where I just sit and talk to the camera while I'm doing something else. Apparently some of you like to listen to me waffle. Okay. I mean, I can't really comment. I listen to people talk about absolute rubbish. when I'm working too. I like things that I don't have to concentrate on, just noise. I just want noise in the background. The second most popular request was watching me do art or journaling or whatever while talking about something as well. Now, I can't always promise that I'll be able to do a voiceover, but I will do more art, just art, where it's you're just seeing what I'm doing. I did one for a spider thing I was working on the other day. It's only like the first half of the process. I haven't finished it yet, but that was quite enjoyable. Just, you know, it was actually it saves me time because it's a long video for Patreon that is fully, I do a proper voiceover for it. But the YouTube version is just a quick, sped up version where I can literally just say, okay, this is what I did, this is how I did it, this is what I'm using, here's the link to this, here's the link to that. Whereas the Patreon version, I didn't do it this time because I ran out of time, but I can do some more in-depth chats about things like tarot, and we're doing shadow work and astrology and all sorts this year. So it would be kind of like a podcast with visuals, which would be quite fun. Which is slightly less pressure than doing a 2-hour live session because it doesn't involve as much planning. I can literally just write a script, edit it, and then all I've got to do is sit and read it out. And I can do that anytime. Don't have to have lighting for it, don't have to have anything. And then I can do my art in the mornings when I've got proper daylight, which would be nice because we don't have proper daylight. It is lunchtime, and I have had I have had the lights on all day, and in order to record this video, I've got all of my studio lights on at midday. British winter and filming don't go together terribly well. Speaking of British winter, we've got snow yet again. Yesterday it snowed so hard in a matter of 20 minutes or so. First of all, it went from absolutely nothing to everything was covered in snow in the space of about 10 minutes. And then 20 minutes later, 4 inches of the stuff. It was a blizzard, Ari. So that was entertaining. Maddie was not happy. She likes walking in the snow. She doesn't so much like being woken up from a deep, warm, comfy slumber to have to go potty in the snow. That's not her idea of fun. She doesn't mind it when she gets to put her coat on and everything, but when she has to go and pee in the snow, she's not so much up for it. It's kind of like us. We don't mind going out for a walk in the cold. You know, you put your coat on and everything, but you'll pop into the bathroom in the middle of the night when it's a bit chilly in your PJs. Not so much fun. So now I've got to sit here and wait for this to dry, and I'm done. And I can get on with what I'm supposed to be doing today. What else was I... Oh, yeah. Reel it back. The 3 things that people asked for. Coffee chats, the waffle. People like the waffle. I don't know. Just coffee chat waffle. The talking about something over art or just art. That we can do. And also planner and journal updates. I tend to shy away from those because I don't want to just do a video every 2 to 3 weeks or even every month that's basically the same as the previous one. But that's what you guys are asking for, then that's what I'll do. I mean, at the moment, I'm still using this. This is what I've started the year in, and this is what I hope to finish the year in. It's looking a bit swish, so I have updated it a little bit since I did my setup. I'm using a day-free Hobonichi, which it's taken me a little while to settle into, as it does every year, settle into my planner. I don't know why it takes me a while, but it does. And then to go with it, I bought a Stalogy because I've been wanting to try one for a while. The idea was originally that I was going to use the Hobonichi on its own. Unfortunately, I didn't realise that the Hobonichi with the day free is only as big as an Avec. It's not the same size as a standard, so you don't get 365 days, which works for me in terms of planning because I actually plan more on a weekly basis. So that means I've got 170 pages to do weekly planning, the occasional daily planning, and whatever lists and notes and stuff that I need to do. But I don't have anywhere to do my journaling. And because I'm using a lot of sketchbook stuff this year, because number one on my list of goals is make more art, I wanted to keep my journal simple and small and not feel like I had to do it daily or anything like that. We are currently on the 21st, and I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5, because that's not finished, 5 double page spreads. And the latest one was this one, which is from, I was sat watching the inauguration yesterday. I had to make sure the Cheeto had left the building, and I felt, you know, I was sitting doing stuff anyway. I was waiting for things to render, and I thought I'd just get my journal out, sit and watch the inauguration. I only really watched I had it going on in the background while I was working on other stuff, but I sat and watched the swearing in and the Andrea Gorman. Wow, what a poem. I'm not really into modern poetry at all. It kind of, I think the way they recite it bugs me. I'm not into this whole way of talking about poetry, like, you know, the whole poetry slam type thing. It bugs me. I don't feel like all poetry should be recited in the same way, you know? Maybe it's just me, I don't know. But that kind of, like I say, poetry slam type stuff doesn't interest me. But wow, the wording of this poem was amazing. She did kind of do the poetry slam thing, but she also put her own cadence into it, which was really good. It felt a bit less like a performance and more like just a reading of a poem, which is how I prefer it. And Maya Angelou vibes or what? Wow. I was really impressed with her. Andrea Gorman, that's her name. Not random poet woman in yellow coat. I don't know. You know me and names. Andrea Gorman, that's her name. But yeah, it was nice to just take 3/4 of an hour out to just listen to the speeches and listen to that poem. Who knew Lady Gaga could sing? I've never heard Lady Gaga sing, I don't think. I know I've heard about Lady Gaga, but I usually hear about Lady Gaga because she dresses weird. It's kind of like Bjork. You hear about Bjork because she dresses weird and she does strange stuff. You don't always hear about her because she sings. I've, to my knowledge, never heard a Lady Gaga song, so I was quite surprised to find out that she could sing that well. She's almost operatic. It was a bit of a, might have to look her up on Spotify, actually. See what else she's done. I think that's it. I don't really have anything else to update you on because you've seen most of what I've been working on. I do have, I did get another one of these sketchbooks. So I purchased the Strathmore sketchbook, the mixed media It's just called the Mixed Media 500 series sketchbook in white. This is actually moleskin size, so it's an A5 slim. But I was so impressed with the paper. I love that paper. So I got a bigger one because I do like this size. I like this size for quick sketches and art journaling, but this is where I do art stuff in this size. So I picked this one up. I haven't actually done anything in it yet. Haven't started it. Maybe I'll do a video just starting my sketchbook off. It's always a fun thing to do. Just talk you through what I do to get it going. Anything else? No, I think because I've done videos, I've got nothing to update you on because you've already seen, like, my new tarot deck. You've already seen that, so yeah. That's pretty much all I've got. But I have run out of coffee and my nails are now dry, so mission accomplished. I've got a little bit of coffee left. So I think on that note, I will love you and leave you. See you again very soon. And I don't know, if you've got any particular videos that you like to see, other than, outside of me doing these coffee chats or journal and planner updates or art with me, journal with me type stuff, then by all means, put them down below. I have had a few requests for some more Witchy Wednesday videos, and I do want to do that, but I'd quite like to get back to doing Witchy Wednesday as live, which might mean that I do Witchy Wednesdays sort of once a month or something, or once every 3 weeks. I don't know. I'm not far enough into the year and settled enough into the year to work out what I'm going to do. And you know me, I don't tend to plan everything in advance all in one go. So yeah, it'll come out in the wash. It's a pandemic. Nobody's really organised in a pandemic. Come on. Anyway, I'm going to go. Thanks for joining me. I will see you again Saturday for YouTube. Patreons get it the day before, hopefully. Bye.